Well, Jason, preseason finished, regular season coming up. Cardinals Rewind, focusing on regular season. How you feeling?
Feeling good, I guess. Confident. Is confidence the word? Can I say confident? No, probably can't say confident. Feeling better than... it's football, man. Football's back, all right?
I feel like you're struggling for words there.
Struggling.
Which I think a lot of people feel about the Cardinals on there. So we talked about the preseason. We didn't do a wrap-up of Game 4 because it was Game 4.
Exactly.
And a lot of the backups and guys that didn't make the team were on there. Any noticeable cuts that happened that you were concerned about or anything?
Not too concerned with the cuts. Who did they get rid of?
Well, Ricky Seals-Jones left. They cut him, and then he went Cleveland, I think. And then Farrell Cooper, which is kickoff return guy, another receiver, let him go. But obviously, the receivers are stacked there. They had 7 guys that they're not going to get rid of. Their draft picks that struggled in the preseason a little bit in there. And then, they had the good draft picks and Keyshawn Johnson on there. But I don't think there was any serious cuts to, obviously Ricky Seals-Jones was a big one for tight end, but we don't know how the Cardinals are going to use the tight end. So,
exactly. So nothing here. I mean, you would think that with a rookie quarterback, usually the tight end is the security blanket. You see more often than not. So I think that one would be the more surprising one. But if they think they have better athletes at tight end, then... maybe. Of course, we don't really know what Ricky Seals-Jones is because he hasn't been used a whole lot.
Yeah,
in Arizona. So
I consider him a serviceable tight end, like a good one for blocking and short pass rushing. But I don't think it was any big loss. Farrah Cooper might have been a surprise just because he's got the experience, special teams. I would really like to not see Christian Kirk return.
Yeah,
punts.
That's the thing. Like Christian Kirk, if he's returning punts, that's gonna not be ideal, I think, for a fan. I mean, yeah, he's probably going to be a guy who can go out and get you a couple of punt return touchdowns. I mean, he's fast, he's elusive, but at the same time, getting hit on a punt return is a lot different than getting hit while running a hot route.
I'd rather see him concentrate on the offense and get out there because as much as everybody loves Larry Fitzgerald, I mean, let's be honest, Christian Kirk is the future in that spot coming up here, and I'd like to see him kind of take over that lead away from Larry a little bit, that leadership position and all that
old,
stuff.
Damn
so
it.
Still going to have a good year, though. I saw on the depth chart that Larry's still number 1, though.
Still number uno, and Michael Crabtree is now on the team, and he's penciled in as a starter.
Well, we don't even know if he's going to play week 1 yet, if he's learned the offense enough to play week 1 or how much he's going to play. But that's obviously a wrinkle for this offense. I mean, there's a lot of wrinkles for this team. Let's just dive into it real quick. As like I said, we talked about the preseason and the other ones and kind of focusing on game 1 here, which we will do a review after game 1 against the Lions this Sunday night, Monday morning, and get that out for everybody to review the game. But a lot of the question marks that we delve into here is, this is the first time going in a game where we have no idea what to expect on offense or defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it on the head there earlier. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald obviously is the heart and soul of this team. No player embodies the franchise and organization more than Larry does. And, 3 years ago, we were like, Larry, it's nothing in the world if you leave here and go get a ring. Like, go chase that ring. We weren't opposed to that. But, I mean, just him and getting ready to enter his 16th season with his team is phenomenal. He's been through everything with the Cardinals. Obviously going to get the number 11 retired at some point in the near future. Going to be in the Ring of Honor. Going to be a Hall of Famer. Larry Fitzgerald is Arizona. But, the fan base, there's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows with Larry. And, Larry's seen all that, and so have we. So that's one of the things. I mean, you think the big hill going into it, obviously the offensive line. They've revamped so much of the roster, but they didn't touch the needs that they needed on that offensive line. And it comes down to, I mean, health. Can that O-line stay healthy, what they got in there? If not, then you got backups and backups to, guys who were backups and probably would be backups on other teams. Like, that O-line right now is what I look in, and I'm like, come on, Kyler Murray, please stay healthy for all 16 games.
I know the offensive line gets a lot of play, especially in local radio here, about how bad it is. I'm reserving my judgment on that because of if we had a quarterback like Carson Palmer in there, I would be completely on board with that theory, everything. But we got a guy that showed, especially in the preseason, able to improvise, get out of the pocket, and look downfield and throw the ball downfield. So I'm kind of holding that, even if the offensive line is suspect at times to get in there. I think Kyler Murray will extend the play out and be able to do that. So I'm less worried about that per se. I think if he's going to get hurt or you got to worry about that. I think it's more if he goes scrambling and gets blindsided or hit wrong or something like that.
The good thing for Kyler Murray, because I wanted to bring up, I mean, Russell Wilson in this equation because, I mean, their O-line has been bad, and Wilson's been hit a lot, but the difference is the wideout talent. I feel like the Cardinals have wideouts who can get open over what the Seahawks have. Because, I mean, really, when you look at the Seahawks and you look at wideouts, you can't pick one out in a lineup. I think with the Cardinals, I mean, yeah, Larry Fitzgerald is getting old, but guy can still get open. He's still a threat across the middle. Christian Kirk, he's fast, he's elusive. We'll see how much they use Crabtree and Johnson going forward, but I feel like those two guys are guys who can get open as well. I mean, Crabtree's been, I mean, he's gotten a bad rap at certain points in his career, but I feel like he's still a pretty decent wideout.
I mean, he's going to be one of the better number 3 receivers in the league, even if he's a quarter of what he was before. Normally, number 3 receivers don't do anything in this league. They'll catch 2-3 passes in a game, maybe the occasional touchdown because the other guys are, covered. But I feel like Crabtree is going to as a number 3, he's going to be one of the better, definitely one of the top ones in the league on there. So you have to look at it that perspective. I'm not expecting him to be a number 1 or a number 2 in terms of catches or whatever. But even last year, in Baltimore, he was having a great year when Joe Flacco was in there, and then when he went out for his injury and Lamar Miller went in there, Lamar Jackson went in there. They started not throwing to him, so he wasn't catching as much and things like that. So, but yeah, he's got to have his head on straight too, especially when he plays the Rams with that secondary. He's got a history there. I think everybody's looking forward to seeing how that works out. Don't wear any chains that day, on there. So the Cardinals open up the season. Super Bowl odds are 150-1. Putting some money on that?
Hey, we'll be in Vegas, what, next week?
Yeah, a week or two,
we're gonna
yes.
make some bets down at the South
right?
Point.
Yep. Over and under is 5 wins. Taking over or under?
I kind of fluctuate between that. I want to take the over right now, and I know we're getting ready to go down the schedule and kind of look at what we think
it could
be a win. But, I've been floating between 6 wins, maybe even 8 wins at some point. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day and how crazy. It all comes down. I mean, can the defense do enough? Obviously, you don't have Peterson in there for the first little bit. Quarterback help. I mean, they need quarterback help big time. Took an injury. A
lot of young guys
in the preseason. So, I mean, if their defense can do enough, I think their offense under Cliff Kingsbury, although we haven't seen the Kingsbury offense in the NFL yet. We still don't know what to expect. It'll kind of be, can their offense get it done, and can they get it together soon? So I don't think 7's out of the question, but I know we'll go through and kind of look. But it's one of those things, man. I mean, like I said, you got a rookie quarterback, rookie coach, but this is the guy that he wanted. This is the guy Steve Keim wanted. I mean, his job's on the line here, so we'll just kind of see what happens. I mean, Vance Joseph, defensive coordinator, maybe he can overcompensate for some of that stuff you're lacking talent-wise on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see. But I always feel like when the guy goes from being a head coach back to being coordinator, it works out.
Well,
for the first couple of years.
He's a hell of a defensive coordinator. That's not argued by anybody in the league. And he's got talent here. The Cardinals, until last year, were a top 5 defense. They have a lot of those similar guys still in there, and they've added some talent in there. I think I'm expecting a lot from the defense, and I'm expecting the defense to go on there. Preseason kind of stunted that excitement a little bit because of how bad they looked at times. We talked about it in the wrap-up of Game 3 where, they had that one long run, was that 78 yards or 85 yards or whatnot. But other than that, they shut them down. The starting defense shut them down completely. So I'm expecting big things from this defense, and it's all going to start on the defense to, be able to flip the field,
set the tone,
get Kyler Murray in the right position. I mean, if Kyler Murray gets his kickoff and he's starting his first drive at the 4-yard line, we're in trouble.
Oh, yeah, big time. And no, I mean, I think also, too, with the lack of experience and talent you have right now with the cornerbacks, and you look at the schedule, there's really not any big wideouts coming your way until you play the Falcons in Week 6. So it's definitely one of those things where you can manage it, and I feel like the Cardinals can manage that as we do look ahead at the schedule. We did already go out and pick our picks on the Main Event podcast for Week 1, which you can check out the entire NFL preview. But this week, Week 1 versus the Lions, we'd already picked that game. We both have the Cardinals.
Yes, like I said, mainly being a homer in this one, I'm putting no expertise into this just because we don't know. No idea. No idea what to do. I mean, we'll break down the game a little bit more after we do these picks, but just literally no clue.
Yeah, no clue. But you look at the rest of the schedule, they're the first month, I guess, in September. They're at Baltimore. They play the Carolina, and then they play Seattle. Both those games being at home to close out September.
Yeah, so how do Baltimore is also an unknown. I mean, they were a quality team last year, running team on that, and I actually have Baltimore winning that game.
Yeah, I like Baltimore's defense a lot, so I think Baltimore wins, especially being on the road, the first road matchup, 10 a.m. start, which we always like.
First road game for
I feel like we always feel like 10 a.m. start for these teams going on the road is like a big dwelling thing, but that's kind of like when we always say, a player, he'll sign here because of the tax that he doesn't have to pay. But I feel like when it comes down to it, it really doesn't matter. But I'm still going to go with 10 a.m. start. They're going to lose. I feel like that defense is great too.
All I know is when there's 10 a.m. kickoffs this time of year, I struggle getting out of bed and get ready to watch it. So
well,
imagine how the players are.
Yeah, I think we're a little bit different from going out eating In-N-Out and drinking a couple Blue Moons the night before.
I love acquitting myself to that.
But no, then you got Carolina and Seattle at home, and I think those are winnable games. I feel like they're going to split the series with Seattle this year because you do play them twice, being a division foe. I feel like they'll split the series. Will it be this game or will it be the one on the road? I'm leaning more towards this game because it is a home game for them, and we saw last year they got snubbed by a field goal against Seattle at home. So I feel like you rolled your eyes on that one.
The Seattle games just annoy the living daylights out of me.
I know it comes down to like 8 field goals in the last minute. Like what the heck, guys?
It's good football, but it's not good football. So that's why I roll my eyes at it. But
yeah, so I mean, I feel like they beat Carolina, and I'll give them the Seattle home game.
Yeah, I got them beating Carolina. I've had that for a while, especially with Cam Newton on there. Exactly right. And then Seattle, I have them beating Seattle at home. Although I wouldn't in the past. It would be the opposite, where you'd lose at home. Both teams would lose at home. But I don't know. We got a new regime in here. Let's see what happens. I got the wins there, too.
And then you go in October. You play the Bengals in Cincinnati, host the Falcons, end out October on the road. Well, actually, not fully on the road in October, but you go to New York and then New Orleans. And then you end out October on Halloween night, actually, against San Francisco. So you're going to dress up when you go to that game?
That's a Thursday nighter?
Yep. You're going to dress up?
Probably won't be going to that game.
You're not going to be a Cardinal or whatever?
I hate Thursday night.
It's Halloween, so it's going to be even worse.
Thursday night games are the worst.
Going to be even worse.
But I don't know. We'll see.
I feel like you look at Cincinnati, that's a winnable game.
That's a win.
So Atlanta lost. I think that team's just way too much. That's going to be the first real test, I feel like, for this team. Well, depending on the week before if A.J. Green's playing or not. I'm not penciling in A.J. Green to play that game for Cincinnati. Just because we don't know what his injury issue is.
It doesn't matter. Bengals are going to be so bad.
Then you got New York on the road, still October, so could be rainy, but I think they could beat New York. I don't think New York's a great team by any means.
Which New York team?
The Giants. The only
helping you out.
The only problem there is Saquon Barkley and the run game, and the rush defense has been suspect here in the early part of preseason. Then you got New Orleans, which I think's a loss.
Yes. Wait, so do you have them beating the Giants or no?
Yeah, I'll go beating the Giants.
Okay.
I'll give them that. Losing to the Saints. And then San Francisco, Thursday Night Football. I mean, flip a coin. I mean, we've already seen the health issues with San Francisco. I feel like Cardinals can get it done at home.
Okay.
So how's that?
Me too. You don't want to know.
How many wins do I have right now?
No, I'm not going to let you influence.
I'm going to Super Bowl right now.
That's good.
But do you agree with all those?
Yeah, no, I totally do. Actually, I had all my stuff written down before, and we are actually on the exact same page.
We're on the exact same. All right, cool. So November, we get our bye week, which is good. Week 12 bye, man.
Yes.
Great bye.
It'll come in time to get guys healthy. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. But you're on the road. It's kicking off November. You got Tampa Bay, and then you got San Francisco again. Was that San Francisco twice in 18 days? Which I think could be an issue because now you've seen the tape, seen the film. You played the rookie head coach. So I have them losing the game to San Francisco, but I have them beaten BA in Tampa Bay.
I have them losing to Tampa Bay just because it's on the road after the bye week. I'm a little weary on if a first-year head coach will have the team ready to go after a bye week.
Well, San Francisco's before the bye.
I'm talking about Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay's before the bye, too. They're for San Francisco. That's week 10.
I can't add up there. Jeez. So never mind on that. But I am losing in Tampa Bay regardless of the bye week there. Just because, BA is going to have something that...
I mean, he wants to beat them.
But an experienced coach...
At the same time, Cardinals want to beat him.
But an experienced coach against an inexperienced coach, rookie quarterback... BA's there. He's going to have extra motivation. It's in Tampa Bay. I think Cardinals are going to lose that one.
What about San Francisco?
Do you have a win for Tampa?
I had a win for San Francisco. I had them beating Tampa Bay, and then I had them losing to San Francisco.
Yeah. And I actually think they're going to lose to San Francisco on the road in this position because at San Francisco, completely different deal. And the history of the Cardinals is that they can't win in San Francisco. I can't talk all of a sudden.
You can't talk. You can't talk
I
in San
know.
Francisco.
All right. I know, right? Like, what the heck?
And then they get the bye week, come back for 5 very, very tough games in December. You got the Rams twice, starting off December and ending December. The first one is at home. Pittsburgh's at home. The Browns are at home. Then you go on the road to close it out against Seattle and the Rams. I don't see them getting a win in December. And I'm going to go and say they win in L.A. because the Rams are going to be sitting some starters.
At the last game of the year?
Last game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go 1-4 in that 5-game
All right.
stretch.
I actually have them beating Cleveland.
That's because you're not on the hype train.
I am not on the hype train.
I'm looking forward to that matchup, though. Baker Mayfield versus Kyler Murray.
I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just saying I think they beat him.
Yeah, I just say I'm looking forward to that matchup.
And I like your theory on the Rams game at the end. I didn't factor that in. I still think, however, that the Cardinals will be kind of packing it up at that point. So I think that's still a loss right there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins for the Cardinals.
And what'd you get, 6?
Because
you had to lose in Tampa Bay and San Francisco.
My favorite part on this is that you have them losing. Oh my God! Like they're going on a huge losing streak here.
Yeah, December's not good for them, man. You got them splitting it. I'm like, nah, no way.
I have them 7-9, which I think I said in the regular main event NFL thing that I could see them winning 6 or 7 games this year on there. But there will be, because it is a rookie, there will be a game or two that they'll win that they shouldn't, but there'll probably be a game that they'll lose that they shouldn't coming up here. But even then, just some caveats. I mean, at Baltimore, I could really see them winning that. Right. Second game of the year. I could see something sneaking if their offense is in line there. Against the Falcons at home, I could see them winning that one just because the Falcons have a history of not playing well out here for some reason. I'm not sure why on there. And then, like you said, just some of the deals where Seattle late in the year, if Seattle's got a playoff game wrapped up, they can win that one on that side of it.
The thing that hurts some of those December home games could be the home games.
The weather?
Well, no, the weather's not going to hurt them for the home games and the dome. I think.
Oh, no, I thought they were playing at Seattle.
No, I was talking about the home games there for December. The thing that could hurt them would be potentially the crowd. You're not getting a lot of people in the stands, not a lot of noise. But then again, you are playing the Steelers, which is going to have a big presence here, which is going to turn into Pittsburgh West. Rams, I mean, it's probably going to be split down the middle with those two teams, I feel like, with that one as well. And then see how many Browns fans kind of come out of the woodworks to show up in Arizona. I don't think there's a big presence of Browns fans in Arizona, but there might be
there will be this year, right? It'll be like, where are you guys from, man? I mean, I could see the Cardinals sneaking out a win against Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. But I can also see them, like some of the wins I got there. Carolina, I could see them losing. I could see them losing both to Seattle on there. So that's what I'm saying. There's a toss-up on here and whatnot. But it'll be exciting to see for not knowing or having any expectations on this. I'm mostly I'm not expecting to have an idea of what this team's like until week 3 or 4, to where I feel comfortable picking stuff at that point. So at this point, I mean, we both have them 3-1 at this point, going into week 4.
After week 4, come October, baby.
But I think even then, going into, as we transition into the first game of the year with the Lions, they have to win this game, I feel. They have momentum going into this year. If they lose this first game, the crowd's going to be against them. The media is going to be against them locally. But, oh, my God, the national media is going to just rip the Cardinals left and right.
It is going to be what the heck were you doing? I thought this offense was going to be great, and it turned out we waited preseason for that. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like, though, you play the Lions this week. Matt Patricia, he's a very good defensive mind, but I'm geared up for this offense. I feel like we haven't seen this offense, so we don't know what we're going to get. Is it going to be the air raid Texas Tech style offense? How often are they going to use Johnson? Yeah, I mean, here's the one reason why I'm picking the Cardinals in this game pretty confidently is because Detroit's doing the same thing we're doing right now. What's going to happen? They're basically coming to this game. They can't game plan on their defense at all, which their defense is their strength this year. But at the same time, we have no idea what the Lions changed their offense this year. Right. So we have no idea what the Lions are going to be doing on defense this year, which is worrisome because of the way our defense played in the preseason on there. So, I think the main thing you have to worry about playing the Lions, though, is the deep ball. Matt Stafford has a fucking cannon for an arm, and I feel like that is the main thing that you would have to worry about. Don't give up the big play, and I think you should be good. Like you said, you need that defense to come in here, make a statement, control the field position game. You don't want Kyler Murray starting off drives inside the 10-yard line. That's never good for a rookie quarterback, especially when you get down to like the 4-yard line. We saw that in preseason. Took a safety against the Raiders.
Yes.
So you definitely want him starting with favorable field position. And I think if you can avoid the big pass plays from Matt Stafford and the Lions, then I think you're sitting in good shape. So, yeah, I got the Lions winning this game as well. Or not Lions, but Cardinals.
I'd be okay if the Cardinals employ that bend, don't break defense where the Lions will go on like an 80-yard drive, and then stall at the 15-20.
Kick a field goal.
Field goal attempt, something like that. I'd be fine with that in this game. I would rather see the defense shut him down and flip the field. But like you said, it's being smart with Kyler Murray, getting him in there. The first 5 plays of the game I expect to be small handoffs, small quick throws, get him comfortable, get the jitters out. Because first game, you never know what's going to happen on this. But then at the same time, I would love to see him drop back and throw like 50 yards down the field too.
Yeah, so we'll see. Week 1 of the season is upon us, Steven. Football is back. I'm excited. You're excited. You're bodying your excitement.
Yay! Well, you know me. So.
I do.
Well, we'll let the secrets out of how I watch football. So, quick little story here. So, I talked to intern about going.
Did you get a new shirt?
No, I have not yet. I'm actually going to be probably shopping tomorrow. I went out last week when I went for ASU stuff and didn't see any I liked. So I got a couple more places I'm going to try. I'm really picky about what I wear.
Yeah, same here.
So I talked to intern about going, and I was like, I go, but we have to have a talk. I said, here are the rules to go. And I gave her my rules of you not to talk to me about needless stuff. Because at the preseason game, she asked me why they declined a penalty. And I was like insulted that I even have to answer this question.
I brought you to this game.
Why I am watching.
I have people sitting around me that want me to answer this question. No, I'm not doing it.
I know it sounds snotty, but I'm one of the few people that go to the game to actually watch it.
Right.
And she's like, well, you're on the phone all the time. I'm on the phone because I'm following Twitter trying to find out stuff.
Yeah, because we're like, hey, why is that player in the tent? Who was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So I had that talk. So I know intern number 2 is going for you.
Yes, intern 2.
So, so they'll be sitting together, I'm presuming. But so I get left alone. So we had that talk. So
yeah, we got to determine the seating preference because I feel like they'd want to talk, right? And then we'd want to do our thing, but then we don't want to leave them out. So I mean, I don't know. Like,
I want to, because I want, especially this game, like week 7 when the team's awful and they're not doing anything. That's a whole nother deal.
Yeah, when we're playing the Niners on Halloween, hey, whatever.
But this game, I want to be into this game. It's definitely seeing how they're reacting, seeing how they're going, and stuff like that. So, well, we're looking forward to it. We'll have to start the recaps here after the game on Sunday. Go Cardinals. Anything else you're looking forward to?
Be red, see red. Are we tailgating?
You know what? That's my phone call this afternoon to see who's doing it. But it's hot.
It's hot.
I'm thinking we just go in.
It's hot, baby.
So if you're at the game, definitely hit us up. We're probably tailgating in points this year. If not, we definitely meet up with you and let us know what your thoughts are on the Cardinals moving forward for this season and especially this week against the Lions.
Tailgate tweet up.
We'll see you after a Cardinal victory, hopefully.
Be red, see red.